Good. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. Let's get the DuBois County Commission meeting started for July 21st, 2025. We have a quorum present, and we will start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Minutes from the July 7th meeting. Anyone have any changes?
No.
No changes.
Move that we approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Payroll from the previous period. Anyone have any changes there?
No changes.
I'll move that we approve the payroll as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And then we have the claims. Any changes there?
None.
I'll move that we approve the claims presented.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, let's do our highway reports, Mr. Leakey.
Okay, first of all, I have a dump truck replacement. Our 2 single axle trucks came in last week, but the bids keep getting pushed back every time we call. We're back, I think October is the last date that they told us so far. So we are now going through a nationwide company out of Odin, Indiana, called Laramie Truck Bodies. The one bid will take 6 weeks and the other one will get in 10 weeks, and they will be $2,500 decrease and no shipping for each truck. If there's a way to save money, Max is gonna find it. he's pretty tight. He's a good kid. So that's the thing on the truck.
So we said cancel with the one party and accept with the second party?
Yep, they just kept moving it back, so we went ahead and canceled and went with the other one.
Well, that's great.
So it's a lot closer, and we had no idea. Somebody had, I think, Sternberg's maybe, just said, hey, there's a place up at Odin, try them. So Max did, and that's what we got. So, okay, the 2025 budget. I have the 2026 budget for you to look at and your approval. So I gave you each a copy.
Do you want to give us any details on it? Or is it over on the remarks if there's any changes?
There is remarks on there. Like as far as the engineer, there was a decrease, but then we end up putting 40% on the Cume Bridge. So we took it out of that. Michaela, she gets 1% longevity today, so that's another one. And then as far as anything else, it's just, it's all on our remarks, so. Not really a whole lot.
Anybody have any questions on the presented budget? I don't see any problem with having it move forward to the county council for approval.
No, I don't need it.
You have our consensus to move forward, sir.
Okay. Chip and seal paving, the chip and seal is complete for the 2025 season. Now, if we get any free time, we can start prepping for the new chip seal upgrade for 2026, which will be County Road 650 South, which is right north of Duff, or right north of Holland area. So, changeover, I have a change order for you to sign. It is from the Woodland Hill subdivision. Increase of $23.18 on the wage and level, a decrease of $92.48 on the surface, which is a total of $69.30. Decrease. Let's do it. Okay.
I'll move that we approve the project number 25-02 change orders.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion carries. There are two of them there.
Okay, St. Anthony Fire Department is once again having their annual Street Fest on August the 16th. And with your approval, they would like to close two side streets if they have an abundance of cars and trucks for their car show. No, it's same streets as they did every year. I think I gave you each a copy. And that, like I said, it's, if they, not planning on closing them, but just in case there's a bunch of cars that show up, then they might have to move it out on the street.
So you just provide the roadblock?
Yep, they will have, they come in, they get a couple of road closed signs and some cones every year.
Well, I hope they need them.
Do what?
I said, I hope they need them. I hope it's a
Yeah.
big success.
Yep.
I'll make a motion that we approve the provisional road closure in the event of overflow for August 16th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Holland dumpster, we are still looking for a location in Holland and for the recycling trash site. We have the town council, Blesh Brothers, Prairie Farms, and the realty gentleman that bought the piece of property. So they're all looking, so hopefully we can find a place.
Donnie, I thought about it a little bit. The real estate, whenever the county buys or sells real estate, unless it's very inexpensive, there's a process we gotta go through and it takes some time. So I was thinking that possibly if we find a place that'll work, we may set up, because we're on time crunch, because we have to get out of the other place in 6 months, less than 6 months.
Yeah.
We may get a temporary lease with the people while we work on the purchase. So I just want to give you that as a heads up in case you hadn't thought about it. Mr. Schneerway, it'd take 3 months probably to buy a piece of property minimum. If we wanted one, because we gotta get the appraisals and.
Right, depending on the cost of that piece of property.
Right.
It's probably not gonna be a small amount to qualify for that.
Right, if it was $2,000, we could probably just buy it, but I think it's over 5,000 maybe.
I think it may have changed July 1, but yes, I would envision any piece of property is gonna be higher than that one.
Right. So, it could be a deal if we find a place, say, hey, we'll lease it from you for whatever a month until we can purchase it, that'll buy it some time.
Maybe we'll get somebody to donate us a piece.
That would even be better.
So, alrighty.
Thank you.
Hill Park Drive in DuBois. I keep driving up to Hill Park Drive in DuBois to make sure everything is okay with rocks being washed from one driveway to the other. I was going to have the excavator driver work on it Friday, but we were going to have more rain over the weekend. So I asked Mr. Rashi if we should, and he said, please don't, because there's gonna be a lot of mud. It's gonna be down to the bare dirt, so he would have a lot of mud because he's gonna have a showing. So he also said there wasn't as many rocks coming down the neighbor's driveway anymore, and he will just go out and pick up or blow the pebbles off the drive before the showing. I'm trying to document as much as I can with this problem. So as far as pictures and phone calls and whatever else, so.
I appreciate your diligence.
So, a new hire, we had 3 gentlemen turn down the truck driving position, but I now have a new hire starting on August the 4th. He will be in District 2, replacing the one that quit at the end of June. So, touch truck, I called Hummingbird Daycare this morning. We're probably not gonna go over there with all the storm damage that we had, so we'll see once what Tim gets done this morning. He may end up going over yet, but good possibility he won't. So, and that's all I got. And of course, I think Levi had emailed you guys last week, and he said that he's not gonna be here. So,
Do you know if he had done had any contact with Ferdinand on Industrial Park Road last week?
I don't know if he got in contact with him, but he did say that they could not change it. I mean, they're gonna keep it at 45, our piece. I would imagine he got a hold of him.
Well, I contacted the town and Mr. Seacard was gonna reach out to Levi to talk about it, so I just didn't know if there was any updates.
Okay, yeah. He did say that we was gonna keep it at 45.
Right.
I don't know if he actually got a hold, contacted them.
All right, that sounds good, thank you. 2 miscellaneous items while we got a second here. We received 2 letters from DNR last month, and I thought they were interesting, so I brought them up. So regarding the Indiana Desk Company at 1224 Mill Street, the Indiana Historic Preservation and Archaeology is pleased to inform you that the above-mentioned property has been proposed for nomination in the National Register of Historic Places, and they're going to be moving forward with that. So I thought that was interesting. And then this one is one step further than that the Department of Interior has notified us that the Jasper High School Gymnasium at 340 West 6th Street in Jasper was entered in the National Register of Historic Places on May 19th, 2025 of this year.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't know those were even in process, but the board members find that interesting.
Nice.
Okay. Okay, next up, we're going to call trash board into order at 8:15. And this is going to be for the Kippenbrook property. Carla, do you have any updates or anything you would like to present to the board this morning?
Carla Striegel, Leonard, West County Solid Waste. I do not really, other than, I did send, drive by this morning and sent some pictures, out to you guys, of this morning's updates on that. And, other than that, I'm here as a resource and, I just follow whatever you guys had determined in the, meeting last time for them to.
Okay, thank you. So at our previous meeting, we have notes on here. They know that was from 2 meetings ago. So this is a property on, is it Old 64? Is that what it's called? All right, so I guess to make a long story short, at a previous meeting, not last meeting, but the one before that, the ruling of the trash court was that the Kippenbrock be in full compliance by July 16th of 2025. We have had, I've been driven by the property myself, and I believe solid waste director said they had done the same thing. A fee was imposed on the family, and I believe they made that payment immediately, so the Kippenbrocks at the previous meeting said that the intention was to continue the cleanup process. All visible vehicles and were proven to be registered. The ones that were not were moved. So, do either of you have, do you want to make a comment on anything, your progress, or what you think you've been doing? Yep, feel free to come up, please. And
Who's Carlos meeting to send you these, so I can find your email or your phone?
Oh, okay.
It's just actually 3 receipts from Belkin, and then some from Jasper Salvage.
can we see it, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
And then we're still picking up and hauling away, so I can always send you some other ones in the future.
Okay, so you took a truck and a trailer with 2 tons of material.
Yeah. It has a dates too.
You have the bill of sale there.
And then there's
For the
another
vehicle.
date that was 3/4 of a ton, and another date that was 1.17 tons of material. So that's just, what kind of items are those? Just items that were laying around the
Plastic and stuff, just plastic and stuff.
plastics that came out of those metal?
Yeah, man, yeah, just that white stuff.
Okay, and then you also turned in, looks like 3 tons of mixed iron for recycling. And another over 3.5 tons on a different date. So this is from June 30th, June 23rd, and July 2nd. Okay, so you've been getting some items out of the,
Yeah, all pretty recent, those are, we're still loading stuff up in the process. It's not as, we still got a lot to do, but it should be taken care of rather.
so when I drove by yesterday, my thoughts, I think Ms. Striegel Winter said that she thought that there had been progress, that she went this morning and looked, and here's how it looked to me when I came through. It looks like the stuff around the border, your one neighbor looks like he brought things up towards the house, but in my opinion, when I looked at it, I think it looks worse than it did when we started this. That's my opinion. With all of those metal containers and the huge wood stacks and all those vehicles, it just looks more compacted. Do you think, I mean, that's my opinion. In your opinion, do you think you're improved from where we were 2 months ago?
Well,
I definitely think so, because it was scattered throughout the property,
Mm-hmm.
and all that he has picked up and disposed of, removed, and gotten rid of. Yes, I understand what you're saying about in the driveway area, but that's still work in progress.
I had the tote stacked up the metal, and then the wind came before the rain and blew them all over. I haven't had time to stack them up, so that's why they're in the driveway, all laying around.
I mean,
So here's what,
the
here.
vehicles we do drive,
If you want to approach, you're welcome to.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many of these metal totes do you think you have? 60?
Yeah,
I mean, there's like
Yeah.
just a ton, 60 metal totes next to your building. I mean, that's just a ton.
Yeah, it looks bad now because the wind blew them all over, so
You
they
just-
all fell over.
Do you think if they're stacked, they're gonna look nicer?
Yeah. So I'll be up.
And what is this thing?
It's our wood splitter.
That's a wood splitter and you just have a cover over it?
Yeah,
Okay.
working.
So did this wood splitter used to be in the driveway? Or is this a different one?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had that in the, where we do wood.
Do you have a plan for those metal totes someplace else besides on the road front there?
Yeah, I was getting ready to move them, so I had them stacked up, but then the wind came and blew them all over, so now I just have to, move them and then stack them because they lock in with each other.
So where are you gonna move them? Or what's your plan with those?
Probably, like around 5, like all together, like just
I mean, they're still gonna be on the property.
most of them, unless somebody else wants them for firewood or something.
So the last time that you guys were here, I was thinking that as you left, I thought that the business, the wood cutting and that was going to be minimizing, but you're gonna, is your goal or your plan to keep splitting wood, to keep maintaining wood, to continue doing that on the property?
Yeah, for our own house.
It takes a lot of wood, and also you do it a good year to 2 years in advance so it can be seasoned. So that's one reason why you need a lot of wood.
So if you're saying that that's all for personal use, I mean, I know I've got neighbors and people in my neighborhood that do this, and there's nobody that has this much stuff on their property when they split their own wood. I don't know. Commissioner Hofstadter, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we asked everything to be just organized neatly.
Yeah.
I don't think we asked them to necessarily get rid of all the totes if they're being used. If they're organized neatly and stacked nice, you probably won't get a lot of complaint out of me. The rest of this, I mean, yeah, I'm just not sure where to say to go here.
We're still trying to clear out.
I do see improvement. The front yard looks a lot better. Some of the side areas look better. So, I mean, I hope you just continue to improve it.
We definitely are, and we promise and guarantee that we want that too, on a daily basis. And it's sooner, not later.
Just I work by myself, so.
And the weather's been an issue, of course.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be sooner, not later, and it's a continued thing forever.
Yeah, it's staying pretty consistent with it. So.
How about the items that are in the driveway going back to the shop?
Yeah, we're still working on that area.
Got a lot of repairing going on, things are broke, trying to get help, and then you're dealing with who's helping you, and then they have an issue, and then the rain comes, but we're working on all that,
Where do
trying to.
you plan on putting the totes, the metal totes that you have? Because there's several of them, and it looks like that in the backyard, you've got this huge pile of wood back there. I don't know, where are you gonna put those totes? I mean, there's a lot of them.
Well, I figured I'd cut the wood and then put the wood in the totes and then I'll just have it to where we can get to it for the winter time. Not close to the road or nothing like that. Just,
I mean, the road front, what I call in the front of the house, looks better. But I've got to agree with Chad, with all the metal totes, it almost looks worse than what it did before.
I don't like that neither, and I've told him about it, he's working with it. If the weather was better and our equipment wasn't broke and the wind didn't blow it, and it's definitely work in progress. I was hoping he'd have that cleared up better by now.
yeah, I'll get the driveway cleared out so we can park back in there and then all the totes will be behind that to where we can fill them up. Just I was in the process of moving them, but then the wind blew them all over, made a big old jingle mess.
Is your metal building full too? To where you can move any of this stuff inside there?
Yeah, I had some stuff in there, but then whenever we were working, I had to bring some stuff out.
I didn't know if you had any room inside where some of that could.
Yeah, I done that, but then we had to use this stuff and work over the weekend. But it's all back in there now.
I think I'm more frustrated than I've been, because like I said, I think it was worse than it ever has.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
It's a large project, and we're doing the whole property, not just.
It's been, I mean, this has been months, this hasn't been just the last 3 weeks. I mean, you guys, I just hate bringing you in here, you've got other lives to live and other things to do than to be coming in here, and we've got more other things to do instead of, I mean, this is just, this isn't common, this isn't, I see this nowhere with this many totes, this much wood for if it's for single family residence. This is just, I just don't get it. I don't understand why it's so much accumulation. It just doesn't, it's not clear to me why this makes sense, and this doesn't look good. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna say that I would like to keep it an open case.
Yes.
If you're saying you're gonna get it cleaned up and leave it and get it done, fine. I hope you do. I'll keep looking at it, and I'll work with solid waste, and we'll see if hopefully it comes into compliance. I do agree, the front of the home along the road is better. So things north of the home, for the most part, are better, and there's no safety issues with people driving by, so I appreciate that. But it just seems like too much accumulation for what we've got here. So I'm gonna again go over the property maintenance ordinance. I'm gonna keep an eye on the property, and if the improvements that you're saying don't get done, then I guess we'll reach back out to you. That's what I would like to do, is keep it an open case. Commissioner
I
Hostetter?
think I'm okay with that.
Definitely keep it open. I like to see improvements. I'll be driving by to see.
So I think that's where we stand today. And we have one more comment.
Yeah, I just, have a question. So initially, I will say, again, Carlos Striegel, New Voice County Solid Waste. I will say that, we did ask them to pull stuff away from the other areas and concentrate it closer to their house. So, that is possibly, and when I was looking at it, I was looking at it as a business, and if it's something that they are using continuously, if it's items that are stored neatly, that they are using continuously, that is a very gray area as far as the property maintenance ordinance. Now, they're now saying that it's not a business, whereas before they were saying it was a business. So, if it's a business and they're doing that as part of their livelihood, I was seeing it as that, but now we're being told it's not a business. So, just a couple of comments on that. I think you probably want to be super clear on what your expectations are then, for, these other items that are in the driveway, et cetera. We did recommend, that one way to handle this would be, a very nice fencing or building, area. And I think, one of the issues we're seeing is that, stuff was spread out, it's flat back on the back area and it's hill, so they're trying to get everything in the flat area. So yes, I think they still have too much stuff sitting around. But when we came at this earlier, we were coming at it as a business where the stuff was being used. So if that's no longer the case.
No, I think you bring up a great point. So let's look at the recommendations from back in June 2nd, whenever we received a report to the commissioners. The recommendations at that time were to reimburse the county for the expenses which they have done, so they've met that. Number 2, all items stored along the edges of the property are to be moved to a central location, not along the edges of the property. I would say that they're mostly in compliance there. There's a few items, but nothing that's unrealistic along that. Number 3, all items moved to the central location to have a fence or structure built around them which blocks visibility from surrounding property owners and from the public view within 30 days. So that one it hasn't been done. And number 4, visible vehicles need to show valid registration, license plate, so that's been taken care of as well. But I think 3 out of the 4 items, as far as the original case, have been done. So I guess the other way we could look at it is, because the situation, to her point, is, has changed. I mean, we could close this case and then it would be a new case if we wanted to say that there's an accumulation of junk, or if there's an accumulation of, items or some other violation. So I guess we could probably handle it either way. Do you have a recommendation on that?
I would suggest it's probably, easier on the county resources to keep the case open. But I don't know what the attorney thinks about that, if he would think the same thing.
Yeah, I understand that there may be a pivot from what the intended use of the property is, but I think leaving the case open is, instead of opening a brand new one and doing the whole process over again. It's probably best suited for county time.
My hope or my goal is that it's just reasonable. If you're gonna need a bunch of wood, I understand that makes sense, but it should be neat and orderly. And if there would be a need for 60 of those metal containers, that doesn't seem reasonable to me. Maybe if they were in a nice organized way, maybe that'd be okay. But it just seems, just an abundance of material there. It just seems, it doesn't seem reasonable to me. So I think what I would recommend that this board does and what the solid waste does, we leave it open, we review it in 30 days and we'll see where they're at. 'Cause I think they have good intentions. They seem like great people. I'm not disparaging that in any way, but just give them a little bit of time to see if they can get it worked out. Does that sound like a plan for the
I think
board?
that's agreeable. I think we've seen some progress and just hope to see some more.
Can I ask about the fencing in the building? It sounds like it's something we're supposed to do yet because it's one of the four. I really don't want to do that. To me, it's a more permanent fixture thing. And this is not a permanent situation, I don't think, really. I mean, it's all gonna either move or change. I don't see it as a permanent thing. And I feel like we put a fence up, then that's permanent. And I really don't see the fence as blocking anything with the way the land is. I feel like the fence is just gonna maybe draw more attention, and I just don't see the fence as being an answer. And then a building, that would be awesome. I've always wanted a new building there. The land, I don't think, is fixed for it. When I bought the place, I was told you don't have a spot there to put one. So I don't see where I can put a building right now. The only place I was told was right by the neighbors, which is like
Or almost flooded.
3 to 5 feet away from their garage and where the flooding is. I don't want to do that to them. I don't want to put my dream building there. I just think that's too close to their house. So we're trying not to put a building. We're work in progress. If I have to do the fence in the building, I hope you understand that I just don't think that's an answer.
No, I don't think that would be something that I would push. I think for me, if it's organized and orderly, because a lot of people have wood burners all around the county, it looks organized, what they do, and it doesn't look like such a large quantity. So I don't think that I will try to enforce any kind of fence, or build. I think if you did a building, that'd be nice. You could put things inside of it and they would hide it. But I don't think that would be something I would enforce. Mr. Hostetter?
No, I think if you have everything neat and tidy, there's no reason to have the fence. The fence is to block it to where you can leave it as is and block it with the fence. If your intention is to clean it up, I don't think that fence is necessary. I don't.
Fence is kind of more for, obviously, so people don't see what's in it, but for security. Most of the time.
So I guess we're just gonna ask you to keep.
Yeah,
Try to
we're
organize
gonna
it.
be around front of the road and sides and highway. Sides for neighbors' yards and everything.
We want that too.
So ideally, we won't talk to you again. We'll leave you alone. You'll leave us alone.
Yeah.
And everybody go about their business.
Unless I see you on the road, you want to chat, you're more than welcome to stop.
Okay. Well, I didn't want to do that before because I didn't want to bother you at your home. So that's why I had.
If he's out,
Yeah.
You're always welcome.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna let it sit. We will review it, so please try to get it organized, try to make it nice.
Yeah, I'll try to get her phone number or email to send her more receipts of, the disposal.
No, that is great. I do appreciate that for you taking care of that much of it. Would you want to make copies of those? That way you have them.
Yeah, do they need those back?
I think they would
Is
probably
Mark
want
here
that. He's not, but I can give you my
or?
team.
Yeah.
I get it.
You'll get
Yeah.
Thank you for being
Do
here.
we have a target date though? We're gonna put on?
No, we won't put it on the agenda. We will, we'll just bring it up if on a need to be basis.
That's good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You can be Mr. Sheridan Hall. I'll give you your paperwork back.
They'll get you those original back.
For the disposal of metal and trash.
Busy.
And they can be on the same one for us, whatever's easiest for you.
Okay, it's 8:30. We're gonna close the trash court and then we'll just go back to our regular meeting here. We have an unsafe building update. O'Connell is the next one we're going to discuss today. So we had at a previous meeting, we spoke with O'Connell and here's what we discussed. On June 17th, we said register the inoperable vehicles or remove them and provide registration or receipts from a salvage yard. Bring the building to a safe condition either by remodeling or destroying it, demolishing it, and to remove the junk and debris and to maintain the grass. At the July 21st meeting, here's what we requested from them for today. Bring proof of vehicle registration for all the vehicles that were remaining on the property. Provide an accepted bid with a timeline for building demolition. And number 3, provide a list of the removed vehicles and scrap items and the name of the individuals where they were taken. So that is what we were expecting today. The O'Connells, if you want to come up, you can give us an update on where you are, please.
I forgot that last one about providing you a list, but I do have everything else.
Okay, yeah, you can bring it up if you want to and tell us about what you have.
This is the accepted bid
Thank you.
with a date that said it will be completed on or before November 3rd. And then the rest of that is all the registrations and titles for all the vehicles that are on the property. And the last is a receipt for the one vehicle that we did take to junket.
Okay.
We took it to junket.
All right, so I'm just gonna move over here and look at these with the other commissioners so that we can kind of see where you're at. So it says here we have a bid, says the bid expired on 12/31, but it was accepted. Demolition is to begin no later than 11/3. It has a price. It has a representative from the construction company there. Everything will be demolished, hauled off. Okay.
Powder concrete to stabilize the ground. After they drop the woods to backfill. Get all that done.
Okay, next up, we have a title here for an Accord.
It's the exit.
So the Accord and the Accent are both on the property?
Yeah.
It's only one vehicle.
Just an
that
accent.
Oh, these are the same things. Okay, that's the title. I'm sorry.
High-end Accent.
So you have one, you have the both for each, I'm sorry. Chevy Express, so that one's on there.
That'll be over here.
Can you tell us what's your plan with the vehicles? Are these things that are works in progress, or what are your,
No, I don't.
Personal vehicles.
they all work, they're all,
Yep.
it looks kind of like a Ford Ranger. Is there a Ford Ranger on the property?
Yes, that's my brother's.
And there is a title and registration still in his name.
Okay.
But in that address.
So the Sebring registration is expired by several years. The registration for the Ranger is expired by several years.
The
That's
Ranger,
the old one.
that's
My brother reinsured it before.
Oh, there, so you just didn't put the sticker on?
he died. He killed himself, sorry.
Should we have these, I guess we could make a copy of these for the record as well. So first off, thank you for getting the bid. Thank you for getting that taken care of. I think that makes us, makes me feel better that you've got a plan, you've got something in process. And it looks like, are you getting able to get some of your items out of the building?
Yes,
Looked like there were some totes and some
Correct.
trash and things that you were getting out. So, so really, I think that was the primary thing was, for me, was the primary thing was to get an accepted bid with the timeline.
do you want copies of that?
Probably so.
Turn on right.
Is there any other comments you guys wanted to make right now?
No, you know what, I just noticed the other day, and it's happened many times in the past, not that there's an issue with vehicles on my property. The neighbor pulled in, and once they saw that I was there with, taking stuff out of my van, backed out, and then went around and parked on their own grass. So is there a way maybe I can get permit parking only signs or something posted, so I don't have people in the neighborhood just parking on my lot and then I'm in trouble for it?
You can put no parking, you can put up any kind of sign that you'd like, I suppose,
I'm
and
gonna put up a no trespassing sign.
Those don't work.
well,
That's on the building itself, but, we've used, construction cones, we've tried different things and, it's figured out.
yeah, I would say that, hate to put you on the spot, Sheriff Kleinhelter, but Sheriff Kleinhelter's back here. He may know more about trespassing rules and laws if somebody is coming on their property without their consent. So he may be able to.
They can tell them, or they can have an agent like us, somebody from us, and we can be their agent to tell them that they're no longer welcome on there. But typically, you want to tell them that they're no longer welcome on there before any kind of enforcement action is going to be taken.
Okay.
So if they have a sign up, does that count as that first contact or first? Okay.
You should still let them know. Personally, if you see them even with the sign, let them know one time and then have it documented.
I think Sheriff Kleinhelter and his team are really good quality people, so I think they probably helped out in any way that they could. You shouldn't have anybody park on your property that isn't you, so I think that'll be fine. If you don't mind having a seat, I'm gonna ask the health department folks if they have anything to comment on your case.
Okay.
Thank you. Ms. Werner, you mind coming up and giving us an update on your perspective?
I mean, this really isn't our ordinance, but I don't know if the weeds have been addressed. And if you looked at I haven't seen the titles or registration, you guys are comfortable with keeping them there. And then as far as November 1st, I mean, you're starting to get into the fall and winter time. I'm afraid if that building doesn't get down, it's gonna sit there, all winter long again. And I know it's not fair to the neighbors in the town to have to continue to deal with that. So I don't know.
Commissioner Stefano, what do you think? Does it matter what time of year you take a building like that down? You have better
No,
work
it
experience?
doesn't matter. I know that they probably have, being the quote that they got, being Kinesis, I know they are probably busy. But my suggestion to you is to go back and talk to them and tell them that you're on more of a time crunch and see if they can't move up that timeline, would be my suggestion.
I did try that, and they said that, they would get to it as soon as possible.
So the time that is on there is just no later than this, so they'll probably be
Right.
earlier.
Correct.
And as far as the titles for the vehicles, in this limited amount of time we had, I didn't have time to really look at all of them and compare them to, what's visible from the property, but I will look at those.
And that's more Carlos, I don't know. What's the ordinance say? Does it have to be titled and operable? Or,
They are supposed to be registered
okay.
and they're supposed to be operable, but I think you said at the last one, I thought you said something about registration.
Yep, she has them registered.
Have it.
I will compare what they
And,
provided.
Your main thing was getting the building taken care of.
I think from the community, that's point number one. Okay, so any other comments on your part? I mean, I know you're concerned, you want the building down because it's unsafe the way it is, but.
Yeah. I mean, we're mainly here for the building, the unsafe building. That's what our ordinance is, but I know that Carlos is here for the vehicles, and then highway, I don't think the weed ordinance is met. I mean, they're
Right.
3-4 feet tall.
Right, I see that.
So, I would say just keep moving forward and try to make improvements.
Yes, sir, thank you. Anything from the highway department? So as far as the weed ordinance, I didn't look at the details of it again. It's kind of like, the biggest problem is the building. And it looks like that as they said, the yard had been mowed, but around the old landscaping and stuff, it's a little tall. That's a secondary problem in my book.
Just to clarify, Carlos Strickland, West County Solid Waste, there's no real weed ordinance. It is, part of the property maintenance ordinance. So the weed violation would be, property maintenance, ordinance violation. And, the solid waste district, the health department and the highway department are all enforcement agents under that ordinance. With the highway department and the solid waste district being listed as primary enforcement agents. To me, if I was coming in here today to the commissioners meeting for something like this, I think I probably would have tried to have the weeds taken care of on the property to make it look better. I'm gonna just say that is up to you guys, what your, requirements on this are gonna be, because I know your primary is to get the building, the unsafe building taken care of. So, I've just kind of been here as a resource on this and, so just kind of what you feel on that.
No, I appreciate it. So the ordinance says that when the real estate is located in a platted subdivision, contains 2 or more residential structures, grass or other vegetation in excess of 12 inches in height shall be considered weeds. So anything on the property that gets above 12 inches, please try to keep it down.
A lot of there's perennials and they are over 12 inches and they bloom different times of the year. there's lots moving right now, close to Sharon Street right now, and there's a lot of problems.
And we tried mowing lawn this week, take care of all of it, but it's been raining the entire week, and I work night shift, so from 6 PM to 4 AM, I'm working. So unless my neighbors want me starting a lawnmower at 6 in the morning, I don't really know how to help you. 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm sorry. And the only mower we have that runs right now is straight pipe, so unless you want a noise complaint, I mean, I don't know how to help that.
Just do your best to keep the weeds under, or the grass under 12 inches. That's all we want. Yes.
Keeping your property under control is your responsibility. And, you know, there are fines that are involved if you're not keeping your property, maintained as, you know, so.
Do I have
So,
to,
I would-
put down my perennials?
I mean, I know a lot about plants and I was out there this morning and there are some perennials there, but there's also, trees that are growing up along the sides of the lanes and stuff growing up in next to the, perennials. So, you know, I'm just saying the tidier a property looks, the less people complain.
I'm sorry, the demolition of the building, all that's gonna be destroyed anyway, all their perennials are gonna be destroyed when the building is taken down, I already know this.
From where I stand, I'm happy that the building's gonna be taken down. You have a good contractor that's going to be doing it. If the other thing is still a problem, next, spring, I'll talk with you there. But you're investing a lot of money to take the building down, you're gonna do the right thing, and you're working on the vehicle, so I'm satisfied that you're making progress in the right direction, and you're willing to invest, of yourself to make that happen, so I'm satisfied with that. I do understand the weed ordinance, but I'm taking care of the big problem first. Commissioner Hostetter?
I agree. I mean, I would ask you to try to keep it as tidy as you can until the building comes down, but, that's the main objective right now, is to get rid of the unsafe building.
I agree. The unsafe building is a top priority at the moment.
Okay, and did we get copies of whatever we need?
I provide copies of health department.
Okay, if you don't mind scanning those to us, that would be appreciated. Anything further on the O'Connell property?
No, sir.
Thank you for your efforts, please continue, and we thank you for being here again, and, I think that's all we have on that. Any other issues on that? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So it's 8:54, so the next item on the agenda was for 8:45, Bart Meyer. Mr. Meyer, are you here? I do not see Mr. Meyer. I don't see anyone in the hallway. It says there's a destruction of property complaint. I suppose that if Mr. Meyer wants to come and get on the next agenda again, he'd be welcome to. So until then, we'll just move on to the next item. At 9 o'clock, we have Jenny Mata supposed to be here, and she is here. So we'll go ahead and get that started a couple minutes early.
Do you mind if I leave? You have anything else?
We're done with that report.
No, sir, I think you're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning,
Morning.
Commissioners. Jenny Mata, Sandy, the 15 Regional Planning Commission. Last meeting, we hope to open a number of bids for work for the Help Owner Occupied Rehab Program. We received 6 out of 55 bids. Panic has set in. I am panicked. This has to be closed out by the end of the year. We have to have all work done later this fall. But I do have 2 bid recommendations for commissioners today, as well as one change to a contract we had suggested, but the homeowner had decided that they would like to pursue some other priorities with their work. So that contract has not been executed yet. So after talking with Mr. Schneer, we can go ahead and change those.
So can you tell me again, we had 6 bids last time. They were all within the amount that we could have used. And you're saying only? No. Okay.
Several of them were over. based on what the homeowners already have completed on their home. We do have 5 of our initial 40 homes have yet to receive a bid. Yeah,
How many again
5 of 40
have gotten bids?
have gotten no bids whatsoever.
So 35 got bids.
35 have gotten bids. They've had some bids on their home. 5 homes have not received a bid. One of them has received a bid. However, the initial bid on that home, just for HVAC work, was nearly $30,000. But the other 4 homes have yet to receive a bid. Gonna send out new biddings again, hopefully to have them open in August. And anybody that is interested at all in bidding,
I think I may have mentioned to you, I've sent emails
Yes.
to multiple people. I think I sent you a person or two.
yes, and I have made contact with them.
And on Friday, I met with a contractor who was at one of the initial meetings.
Mhm.
And I guess they looked at a couple and then they just said, whatever, and they kind of got disinterested. So I tried to spark their interest again, so I think they'll be reaching out to you.
Okay.
And I told them, I said, if the process is too hard, if Jenny's too hard to work with, right? I said all of this stuff, and he knew you.
What was that?
And he said,
I couldn't imagine that.
right, and he said, no, that he knows who you are, that's not it. I said, but if there's something wrong with the process, if whatever the problem is, let us know so that we can fix that. And I don't know what that part is, and I told
I'm
him,
not either. Sandy and I had a long discussion about this a couple weeks ago. We're not sure if it's the public bidding portion of it where folks have to turn in the bid bond and they think that maybe they don't get that back. If it's a pay to play type of thing, they think they have to turn that money in and they don't ever see that bid bond again. That's not the case. You do get that back once contracts are executed. We're really not sure what the situation is. But there are a couple contracts to issue today and hopefully moving forward. But yes, I would like to bid again in August. And hopefully some of those folks that have reached out to you and I lately have had some interest.
so let's say that I'm a person that is competent in this ring and I can legally operate.
Mhm.
Give me the 30-second thing you would tell me about how I would become involved in this to get bids for me to do the work.
Reach out to me, tell me what your scope of work typically is. Are you a
I
general
can do
contractor?
HVAC and I can do ADA.
Okay, great. I put you on my list. Whenever it's time for biddings, we set out the information on the homes, what work needs to be done, the inspection reports as to when the home inspector has gone in. You'll need to turn in a bid bond, which is 5% of your total bid cost. That can be in the form of a cashier's check, or it can come from a bid bonding company. There are insurance companies in the area that do bid bonding.
So as far as the part where it has to be inspected, so say it's 1 Main Street, that's a house that is applied, they have a project, I think I can do that project. Has the inspection already taken place?
Inspection has taken
So
place.
I'll get to see what the
You'll get
inspection
to
is.
see what the inspector has found in the home. There's pictures, and then there's a detailed listing of everything that needs to be completed in this home, broken out by HVAC, electrical, water heater.
And if I'm the contractor, do I go into that home too?
If you would like to go into that home, you can schedule a visit with that homeowner, and they can have
So
you.
really, I don't hear anything yet that's gonna be a roadblock to me wanting to do the work.
And then the only other form, you have to fill out the Form 96, which is the public bidding form. And not even that entire thing has to be completed because of the bidding. If it's over, I forget what the threshold is. That was a deer in the headlights look there, sir. There is a certain section certain sections that you have to fill out if it's over a certain bid amount. But it's a very high amount.
With
So
the
most
bid
of
bond part, even there,
You
you can
can-
tell them, hey, you call insurance company X, you'll pay them $300, they will cover you.
or you go to your bank of choice in the local area, get a cashier's check for 5% of your total bid.
So that could be, if I wanted to bid on 5 projects, and that's $20,000 a piece, $5,000 out of my pocket might be
But we hold that, and as soon as contracts are executed, then you get that funding back and you will execute a performance bond.
If it was like a sole proprietor, that may be
You might
a
have,
barrier
it might be,
that's required. We can't, that's not one we can say, don't worry about it.
absolutely.
Okay, I thank you for going through that again, but just so that we all three know, if we run into somebody, it shouldn't be a hard process. There's not been a lot of competition, so you can make a profit on the job.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll try to be a little easier to work.
Right, I was just trying to leave the door open if there's any
If there's,
roadblocks,
yes, absolutely.
please tell us and we'll try to make them smoother. So I hope that we'll do a little better on the next
Yes.
cycle, just
I'm
because
hoping
we've
so.
been aggressive with hitting up people.
I have. To date, we have, with what we have out there right now, we have expended about half of our funds,
Meaning,
350,000, a little over 350.
so for the local contractors, $350,000 worth of work that can be done. If you want a part of that, we welcome you to
Absolutely.
check it out. Okay, so let's talk about the two that we have.
The two from our September, excuse me, I'm making the year go away too quickly. Our July 7th bidding, one was at a home. It is here in Jasper, and the bid was from TNT in the amount of $8,530. I would recommend awarding that contract, and there is one on 6th Street here in Jasper for HVAC work from Huntingburg Mechanical in the amount of $10,650. Recommend awarding that one. And then the one I had spoken about earlier, this was from a bidding earlier in the year. We have not issued the contract on this one yet because the homeowner was kind of working through trying to figure out what would be best for them. They had initially thought that they were going to do the HVAC only. However, they did get bids and things for the electrical, and they would like, it is a home in Huntingburg, and they would like to go for the HVAC and electrical work for this home. And that would be about a $19,000 contract.
So now that we've upped the amount that can be used, it's gonna be, they're gonna get more work done possibly, so that's good.
Yes.
So as far as today, I'll make a motion that we approve awarding the two contracts to the Jasper properties that have been mentioned to us today.
I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the Huntingburg one as well.
Well, are you still working on the,
They are ready to go on that.
okay, I was thinking that you were
Nope.
still waiting on some modification
No, they are
paperwork.
good to, they would like to pursue that.
Okay, so the Huntingburg property, well, as modified and just under $20,000, I'll move that we approve that as well.
I'll second.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion carries.
I will get, I will send you all the next bidding. I'll get on Sandy's schedule. And again, if you know anybody, please, we're really wanting to get this accomplished for folks.
So again, if I'm a contractor, they contact you, you'll send them a
I will
list of
send
the
them everything
work
they
that
need
is.
and I can walk them through the entire process.
You'll walk them through the process and they should have their bids to you by what date?
I'm not sure what the next, or what the second August meeting is. I did not look that
August
far.
18th.
August 18th?
So
wanna
if
just put me on
somebody
there
starts working on it today, they have to go.
Yeah, they'd have until August 18th.
That's that.
9 o'clock? That sounds lovely.
Thanks.
Thank you
Anything
all.
else?
That is it. Thank you
All right.
so much.
Have a great day.
I will reach out to get signatures from you later this week and I'll send you things this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny.
Thank you guys.
Okay, we have some surplus items.
A list to you all. And, actually, I sent you a list and then I added to it.
So what-
That's considered written on the bottom.
So we have, laptop from EMA, Kenwood VHF radio that is,
That laptop is the one that had the battery. It's,
What, Sandy?
we had three laptops that were removed from inventory that were kept as spares from the computer room. They were used during COVID. The clerk has 4 Dell Optiplex 5060 desktops, 1 HP ProBook, An auditor has an HP all-in-one. It was the public machine. It doesn't work properly anymore. There's a monitor from the health department. The screen doesn't display properly, and they have a ProBook 450 G6 laptop. CASA has a desk. She did try sending that out to people to see if anybody wanted it. Sounds like nobody has wanted it. And we have a cell phone right here. We'll put it with our collection. That one looks like probably a 9 or so that's an old one.
7.
What
Yeah.
is 7?
It might be, I don't know.
So I would move that we, call all of these items surplus to be disposed of.
So
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. So Commissioner Hospital, when you're done with that, and put it in our collection
I will.
right there.
He's trying to get it
I was
up and
curious if
running.
it would turn on, and it did.
It did turn on, it's been got to reset, but
It's not going in.
Now,
Another-
I gotta wait for it
another
to
request
back
is-
off.
Is that I think down at the library, somebody mentioned it to Sandy, that there's a box where you can put electronics. I don't know what they do with them.
Oh, really?
So they probably take the ones that are good, try to sell them, and the other ones, they probably scrap them or recycle them. So is that what we want to do with these?
Where at?
At the library.
I think they just go to Carl.
Do they really? They don't get money from them or try to sell them or do anything with them?
I thought they were a box for the solid waste. and they're
Oh, really?
a service.
it might be Carlos box that's down there, now that you say that.
We used to donate ours to Crisis Connection until you guys changed the process. They would give them to people that were in need, maybe they call it emergency or something like that, but they would always take them from us. We would wipe them and then donate it to them. They would use them.
A lot of them, I can't even turn on to why.
Well, I mean,
That's a problem.
then
Now, this
dispose
one,
of
she
them.
wiped.
I mean, we have some that we give away, they're still operable. At least somebody might be able to get some use out of them.
Yeah, I don't know that we ever changed our policy.
Well, we always used to donate them, and then when we were told that we couldn't anymore, we were
Send
supposed
them
to bring
right
it
back
here.
there.
And what was the last part?
And we were told we were supposed to bring it here rather than donate them.
Yeah, go back there.
Okay, so I think they need to, I think the best process would be they go to Sandy first so they can wipe them, make sure that they,
Well,
what we
we
don't wanna do is give an old health department one to somebody and then there's health information.
Well,
Well, we
most of the
factory
time,
reset them
They
before.
factory reset because I don't know the passwords, I can't get in them.
We factory reset them and then we bring them over here because we don't want people getting our information off of them. So they're done white factory reset before we bring them here. Normally, we just took them to Crisis Connection or whoever wanted them as far as donating them and they could give them out as an emergency phone or
Where somebody can just call
yeah,
911.
you can still call 911 with them. And if they would need a, put a plan on them or whatever, that's their prerogative, but they're probably given to, people that are in need.
So I would say in the future, as far as I'm concerned, if you have a phone that is still operable, that they'll be able to use, I mean, as long as you can reset it, I don't think I have a problem with you continuing to do that. So I don't know how that process changed.
I
but-
just don't think they're very reliable when they don't hold a charge and they don't, I mean, you get to a point where they're just not worth it.
I would almost think too that I see some people with very limited resources and they always have phones.
Yeah.
So that's a priority for people. But no, if you have some in the future and you think the Crisis Connect will take them, I'd be happy to.
They've never not taken them, they've always taken them.
Okay. Yeah, so going forward, we'll try to improve that process. We've been doing it incorrectly since. And my worry is I just don't want somebody to, county business, somehow somebody being able to get into it and take it. So I don't know if a factory reset completely actually clears it or if somebody that knows what they were doing could still get to the information. Board, do you have any idea on that? We feel okay doing it, Crisis Connection, if somebody wants it?
I think that's fine.
I don't think terrorists are gonna be digging through our phones.
I
I
just
don't think
don't
we have
want,
that level of,
I don't wanna give them stuff that they have to deal with it.
right.
Makes sense.
We won't give them junk, but if the health department says, hey, we got two, one of them's good, it still functions, we should be able to do that. Okay? Yes, so we have the Rob Slotin property in DuBois. So that's another issue there. I went to their property this weekend. I don't know what direction it is. I guess the east wall is mostly down. The west wall is mostly up. The
So,
south wall is gone. Do you have something you'd like to, you wanna,
yeah.
Can I give us a
Cedar
report?
Green, Boys County Health Department. So Mr. Sloan reached out to me, well, I actually,
have you seen these?
Yeah, I drove by.
You drove by with you?
Yeah. I was kinda curious what one wall remained.
he likes to keep Sean and I in the loop on what's going on, and I told him that I went by and taken pictures and that it would be topic of conversation at this meeting. His plans at this point are to keep that last wall up, and make that a type of courtyard background. The back, he said the back is gonna be more like a courtyard with a solid western wall having a deck attached to it. So our concern was that wall blowing down, since all the other walls practically blew down. And so I asked him if he'd had a contractor look at that wall to see if it was stable enough to stay up, and he said he had. That the wall has been thoroughly checked and it's completely plumb and secured to the foundation. And with the 5 foot adjacent corner, he feels that it's secure and that he'll be adding a deck to that area. Covered 10 foot by 28 foot deck tomorrow. They'll get paperwork from the auditor's office to do that.
You mean the assessor's office?
Probably. So, I don't know. We need something in writing that says that that wall is secure enough to maintain.
Because that was not in the scope of work, it was the demo of the whole thing. I mean, the one wall blew over itself just from a storm, so I'm afraid if he builds a deck and that thing collapses, somebody's gonna get hurt. And I don't wanna put my name or the health department's name on it, saying that you can do that. That's not a determination we're gonna make. Because our scope was to tear it all down and to make it, filled in with dirt, whatever he wanted to do. If he wants to build a deck, that's his prerogative, but I don't think it's a good idea to keep that wall.
I don't see that wall.
Unless there's a
secure.
structural engineer that's gonna put their stamp on it saying that that's gonna hold. But when you have a 20-foot wall with no support from the rest of the building anymore,
Well, he's saying because it's anchored to that.
I think he's saying this corner is there, that helps balance.
Yes.
That helps strengthen it, and then it's probably still connected to the other building. That's
well, it's
Does that not work
not,
that way?
it's not attached to the old, or the other building. It's not tied in,
It's not.
no. Because that's why he was able to demolish it. It's just mortared up to it. It's not, the bricks are not tied in,
So he had
That's not
inspected,
secured.
no.
he had it inspected by whom?
Well, we don't know.
I'm assuming the person that's working on the project, I don't know.
Can they provide something?
Yeah, I can, after this meeting, try and get more information and let them know that we need something in writing that says,
By a qualified individual.
yeah,
So at the last meeting, the plan was all the county entities that are involved, the attorney, everybody was going to come together, put together a scope of work. 2 days after our meeting, he's got people up there and he's tearing it down, or the beginnings of tearing it down. So the scope has changed because now we don't have, I guess, at that point, we're thinking, oh, good, it's getting torn down, it'll be done. We come into this meeting, I was hoping it'd be done and cleared up and we could just call it closed, but that's not the nature of how these problem properties have happened recently. So right now, it's still a mess. It's better. It's a mess though. There's a dumpster on the site, there's scaffolding, there's, I don't know, for lack of a better term, there's police tape around it, so that, I guess to warn people. I don't have faith in Mr. Sloan's ability to get things done in a timely fashion because he's proven himself not to be able to historically. So I guess our option is we could revise our scope of work and try to do the same thing that we tried to 2 weeks ago. But I assume he's going to continue doing things on the property. That scope will be no good again in 2 weeks. So I feel like we're kind of in limbo here.
He has not paid his fine.
And he hasn't paid his first fine or his second fine. So the other thing that was interesting, within 2 or 3 days of the last meeting, there was a Facebook post, and he's selling the property for $69,000 or whatever the amount was.
59.
59. And then later that evening, it had sale pending on it. So is he not selling it now? I didn't know if when he contacted you, if he said anything about that.
He didn't say anything to you.
You didn't mention sale of the building at all.
Well,
Commissioner Hauser, what are your
the
thoughts on it?
sale thing went up that day of our meeting.
Was it the same day?
For sale, but then it went sale
Right,
pending
and then-
that night, but
I went up there that night and saw them digging and
mhm. I
excavating.
mean, they've made a lot of improvement as far as getting the stuff out of the building, as far as the junk and the debris. You still have a lot of the bricks and the
That's all
walls.
still there,
He,
where it's
so,
taken down?
so, in,
Oh, here's what it
in
looks
his
like.
text,
Is there a
That-
basement underneath that part?
Yes.
Kind of a crawl space, not really a basement, but
he said that the back is going to be more like a courtyard with a solid western wall having a deck attachment. Also, by keeping one wall is the only way I can be grandfathered into being able to rebuild if I ever choose to.
I don't know if that's true or not. But I don't think,
There's no building
Does it appear to me that he's getting rid of
codes
it?
that Du Bois.
I didn't think so either.
If he wants to add on, he can add on.
That's what I thought so.
Is it an ADA thing?
I don't think that it's ADA compliant.
No, I'm just saying, you know, if you keep something there and that has something to do with it.
I wouldn't think that would apply here.
I think it, I mean,
Not knowing what it's referring to, again, there's not a building permit process in that area.
No.
I think we made the scope of work pretty clear. He didn't follow it. So, I mean,
Well,
short of him providing, a qualified individual that says that wall can stay, and that hole still needs to be filled in.
what he's thinking, he's just gonna put a deck over it, call it good is what he's thinking.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna cut it.
That's not safe.
Because you can see that, like I
There's
said,
nothing there
they
that's
have,
safe.
there's multiple holes in the backside of that building now. That's what I try to tell him, when you tear that down, you're gonna have multiple holes that you need to clean out or close up. He's gotta get all those bricks tucked in there, get that, either that doorway secured or, bricked in, whatever he wants to do. But I'm assuming if he wants to put a deck on, he's gonna want to put a door on that opening.
That's not safe at all.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in that wall staying standing.
I mean,
There were 3 other walls to help hold the first one up that fell down.
True.
Not a 5-foot section.
I don't have any faith in that wall standing.
I don't either. I think you gotta push it and cover the hole, seed it and call it a day.
It's still
If he
a
wants to
deck.
put a deck out there, he can still put a deck out there.
Why you need a wall for a deck?
And if he wants a wall, he can build a new wall that'll stay standing.
Agreed.
So at this point, did we take it upon ourselves to take care of it?
I'm just trying to get a better view of this thing.
I mean, we can reach out to him and set up a meeting and meet him out there and discuss the wall and let him know that our concerns and
Is the excavator gone already?
it was gone when I was there. But I don't.
He had a mini there.
It's not there.
It's gone.
I was
Okay.
fine out there, there's no.
Alright, so they've already moved the machine
But that was a
outside.
rental, so he probably didn't want to continue to pay.
Oh,
It was,
Gotcha. okay. Grand rental?
grand rental, I think. it was.
Gotcha, okay. I didn't know that.
It had general rental on the side of it, but I don't know if that's the same as grand rental. or-
No, they're from like
So
a,
was he doing that himself or was somebody else doing
I have no idea.
if he rented it, I assume him. I mean, I don't know that, but.
I want to take action that's gonna get it done, but I don't want to waste people's time to get it. He's thinking he's gonna keep that wall.
No. I go no on that wall.
Do we have the authority to ask him to provide something that?
I think that we can ask him to, if he's saying that it's, as Mr. Hostetter said, if we can get a qualified engineer or a structural, someone with more authority than, no offense to anybody, well, the exception structure point is, to ensure that it's a stable wall and it can stand, and I think, whether or not we walk away from it at that point, I don't know, I'd like to see what the letter says. But our request originally was that it would be torn down in its entirety and it would be cleaned up.
And we're gonna have to pay for someone to get out there.
At this point, I guess, the scope of our quote would now be smaller, removal of one wall and debris.
Plus he has to fill the hole in, and plus he has to secure the backside of the building. There's multiple holes in the backside of that building. There's a door without a door, and there's multiple holes where the bricks have fallen out.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple holes punched where there's maybe air vents or something at one time, and there's other ones, where a tall door was.
That's still not secure to the environment. Rodents will go in and out of there, coons, possums, skunks. I mean, that's what people have been complaining for years, that rats, mice, everything's coming in and out of that building.
I mean, yeah, you're gonna harbor whatever will crawl or fly in there.
Bats, anything, yeah.
So,
And you don't want kids out there to be curious either. That's the last thing.
we've got a little one there, we got a door opening there, got a hole here, hole here. I was happy when I thought somebody was gonna buy it. And maybe they would
I don't believe that's the
take
plan.
action. Okay, so we need to take some kind of action. I'm tired of messing with this one, just like I'm tired of messing with those other two. What is your recommendation? Do you have a recommendation
I
today?
say we stick with the original scope of work. It needs to be completely demolished and the hole filled in. If he wants to build a deck after that, that's his prerogative.
I'd say we reach out to him today and said, tell him that what we talked about in the commissioners meeting, and that wasn't in the scope of work, and so that wall needs to come down.
But then again, how much time do we give them? You know, we're back.
We give
We're
them
gonna
enough
wait.
time to, if he gets it done
Another
before our
meeting?
contractor shows up. And whoever we hire to do it, we hire with the, like, hey, this, it might go away before you get a chance to do it, so, we'll have to pay him something just for the trouble, I would assume. And that would be assessed to him.
But then again, he has not paid.
Right,
Two
but
of them that we've already put
not
in
gonna be
place.
selling the property, because there's gonna be a lien on the property. I mean, I don't think we can go any farther than that.
I mean, do one of you three want to reach out to him and say, this is what we decided at the meeting, if you can get it done by the next commissioners meeting?
But what if he says he'll do it? It doesn't mean anything.
It's
Sure,
true.
doesn't mean a
This
whole
is
lot.
our third meeting since he said he would do it.
I understand that, but
No, I mean, I hear you, but what do we do with, so the problem is, what I would think would be ideal would be, we put together a scope of work, same plan that we had last time. The scope of work is to cut this back off, everything's done, it gets cleaned up, it gets dirt over the top of it.
there's still a lot of work there. He's got to bring in multiple loads of dirt, or he's going to push that wall in for fill and then bring dirt in. I don't know what his plan is for the hole. And then he's gonna, like I said, those holes are gonna, that's not gonna be an easy task either. He's got to get a basin in there and tuck those bricks in there.
Because if we just do that partial scope, his building still won't be secure, he still won't be
So we're
compliant.
gonna need an excavator to demolish it, fill it in, plus we're gonna need a construction crew to repair the backside of his building, if he's not gonna do that. Because that was the whole scope of work in the beginning, is to get it structurally demolished and then the back part structurally sound.
So with this, on the back part of the building, if a person put up a piece of material that is long lasting and put it over the holes, would that be compliant? Because I think to get a mason in there.
I think if he boards it up,
It would be probably compliant, but it's gonna look like crap. You just said the other departments, you want it to
Pretty
be
sure.
clean and tidy, you just gotta put a piece of plywood on the backside of the building, call it good.
we're not gonna paint the building and make it look pretty. But I think our main objective is to make it safe.
Mm-hmm.
And if we board it up to where kids can't go in there and animals can't go in there, I think that would cover that scope of it.
The problem is if we do whatever we do, he'll be working on it between now and then, and it'll change again.
Correct.
I think he needs to know that he can't keep that wall up. That's the first step, I think, because he's under the impression that that's okay.
I think he needs to be explained that there's no building permit requirement for Du Bois. It's not in a zoned area like the city limits. He can build on whatever he wants. He doesn't need that wall. I'm thinking he's assuming that he needs that wall to be grandfathered in to build a deck. That's not the
So
case.
again, would your recommendation be that we continue to work with the same people we said last time? We do develop a scope of work, we implement it on the first meeting in August. And we don't give him any, whatever still, we'll write the scope of work in such a way that whatever remains, the contractor shall remove. The ground should be covered in a certain way. The
I've got
building,
all walls will be removed, the debris will be removed, the hole will be filled in, and the remaining structure will be secured from the elements.
That's fine.
And intrusion.
because I'm with you, but I wanna make this something practical that we can get done, and he's gonna keep tinkering with it. But I think this will keep it moving. What do you think? Have him do the same
I
thing?
agree, yeah. Well, if we know what the final scope of work is, whatever is remaining, when the contractor shows up, they get done. I do have some worry that this guy's gonna show up while that contractor's there and try to bark orders, change it. And we need our contractor to understand that.
But he'll be working for us.
Well, I agree, but
No, I know.
what happens if the guy goes and stands in the hole and says, no, he ain't touching my building?
Commissioner Stepnow.
I just like to see it cleaned up. I mean, this has been going on for how long? I mean, we've been very lenient.
Years.
I know,
It resurfaced about 6-8 months ago.
and I'm not comfortable leaving the one wall up there. I'm just not. Yes, you can get an engineer in there, then it's gonna cost the county more money to get that done. And obviously, it's not sound in any way. I say we move forward and use our resources or whatever the case may be to get it done at this point.
If he gets an engineer that will even show up, it's gonna be $800.
Yes. You know, it's more money that we're gonna have to, and the
We're not gonna
fines
do it.
have not even been paid at this point.
No, I don't say that we do it, but he's gonna do it.
Right.
We don't need, for our scope of work, we're not looking for an engineer because we're bringing the wall down.
Right.
So, Mr. Schneider, I know last time
Beginning.
we put a pause on it because we were hoping it would be done. This time there won't be a pause. Whatever it is, we'll move forward to the next meeting. Does that sound satisfactory?
So we get a scope of work, we can reach out to him and say, this is what is gonna happen. We're gonna come up with this scope of work, we're gonna put a bid out, whatever we're gonna do. And you've got until we start to get it done, is basically what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Kind of like
whatever
what
the
he did
meeting-
last time, he started the day after we had the meeting.
Right.
And we put a pause on it because he had already had 3/4 of it done. So now he's just gotta finish the fourth and call it good, but if he doesn't get it done by the time we're ready to go, then we're doing it.
I think we're gonna let that go, but yeah, we're gonna move forward next time. If it's not done and complete, we'll move forward next time. No stopping, we'll have a scope.
Right, so from my standpoint, we'll have a scope to present to the board at our next meeting, which is August the 4th. Which will then be released for quotes.
Right.
I believe that at this point, it's probably under a biddable amount to get quotes. We'll solicit quotes and be prepared to award those at arguably the August 18th meeting.
That works.
Okay.
8:30?
Again, I don't like it, that's another month. It's
Right.
supposed to be
I
done, but
understand.
that's how government works. Slow.
I'm gonna put it on 8:30, August 4th.
No laughing from the crowd, please.
Public comments later.
Yeah, I think that's our option.
Okay, so we'll
So if
reach
you
out
want,
to
if he
today.
wants to come up with money or find an engineer that'll sign off that that's safe for leaving it up, great, but it's not gonna
I
happen.
mean, is that an option?
To me, it's not.
He needs to be clear of whether it's an option or not an option.
To leave the wall?
Yeah.
I don't think it's an option.
No.
I mean, the original scope of work said bring it down.
Okay.
Okay, it's not enough, that'd be.
It's not an option,
So
right?
we're not gonna change the scope of work now.
He doesn't need that wall to build a deck,
It's not sound. It's just.
according to county zoning, we don't have it in that area, so he can go to the assessor and apply to build a deck, and he can build a deck.
Correct. As long as it's on his property, he needs to set that.
And it's not in the scope of work, so it can't remain up. Because I think he also thinks it's gonna be
He's
eye-catching and appealing to the property.
What's the purpose of the deck?
It might be,
You
but
say,
that's not.
the deck.
yeah, what's the purpose for him to build?
It's a-
I think he's trying to sell it and make it more marketable with instead of walking out the back door and falling in a hole, you're gonna be walking out on deck. I have no idea.
I mean,
No
it's
idea.
not even.
I don't know why he would want to put more money into it
Exactly.
than he can.
I mean, what's the purpose of putting a deck on there?
I think it's clear, we need to get it cleaned up like we've been asking for a long time. I can put together a letter like I've done the last 2 times, to him to send out. And you can go ahead and reach out to him if you guys have continuing contact, that'd be good.
Okay.
And we'll see if this pushes it into the last 25% or whatever percentage we're at. I'm only saying 4 walls, so.
Okay.
I appreciate the health department's work on this and the other departments. This isn't the main scope of what you're supposed to be doing every day. So I apologize for that, but this is part of what we do. So thank you for your continued efforts, and we will move on with it as we discussed today.
And so the 2 fines still stand.
Correct.
Since the one's delinquent, I don't know what you wanna do about that.
Mr. Schneider, what is the process on
So
that?
I'll put together a notice that gets recorded and then we'll submit that to the auditor's office to attach it. So, yeah.
So do we?
My one thought would be is whether I do that now or I wait until the next one expires. And do the second one, right, and then I just do the one.
But what if the property would miraculously sell in the time being?
I believe that then the lien would not have been recorded.
That's why I was gonna say, if there is a potential in itself, having the one recorded would be, the deed won't pass a title search if it's got a lien on it.
Correct. We'll work on the notice for the $500 reimbursement fee that has not been paid.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, let's see what else we have here on the agenda. So, surplus items taken care of, the closed property was taken care of. Mr. Schneider, did you have, any updates on the, House Roll Act 1641, the county contracts? Is that anything that is in process?
That we were working on the ordinance, again, it was gonna be for the 3 departments. I have talked to them, Mr. Warner as well as,
So it's still in process?
yes.
Okay. Anything else from?
No, sir.
So I believe that the next meeting is gonna be our major discussion on healthcare. So,
Oh, okay.
just as a reminder, we need to review everything that we've been going through the last couple of meetings and hopefully have your personal, however you're gonna vote on things, what things are most important to you. I think we've all been contacted by some people on the secondary spouse part. I mean, people have some concerns, but we'll kind of go through those at the next meeting. Do either of you have any business?
Don't have anything.
I have a couple. I guess I want to discuss or what your opinion is for a county administrator. Your thoughts?
I favored having one for.
Quite some time already?
Pardon me?
You have for quite some time?
Yeah,
already?
I thought it was a good idea.
Okay,
I feel similar.
okay.
The,
I think there's a lot of details to work out, but,
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
definitely think it's a worthwhile to look into it.
one good example of where, I think there's a bunch of examples where it would be beneficial. But one would be, like for Mr. Warner. I went and met with him a few weeks ago. I went to just kind of tour the facility again, just to talk to him. And he had a number of things that were important to him that we needed to work on. And it's just, it's hard to deal with every one of those things. And, but I think the county administrator, under our direction and under the county council's direction, we could say, go make sure that those things get taken care of and they get resolved. That person could also help with these kind of issues that we're having here.
True. I didn't think about that part.
Where we could say, go out and talk to these folks before the meeting and.
Bring it back.
So I think there's 100 different ways of it where it could be of value.
I think there's several counties that have one
I
that
agree
we
with
could
There
lean
are.
on to, kind of get what their typical day looks like.
Thank you,
what their
Tom.
job description looks
Sheriff,
like.
do you need to address the board? Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I'm in favor of it. I think it would be great. So, other things, meetings and things like that that we can't attend, they can, and bring back all that info. I think would be beneficial, very, actually.
Some counties, it's weird that as I looked at it in the past, I don't know the full scope of these people's work. Somebody called a county manager, county administrator, or something similar. A lot of places that are smaller than us, the board of commissioners has like a secretary, or they'll have an administrator, or they'll have a manager, and the pay that those people get is between $30,000 and $105,000. So it really, there's a town or a community that's smaller than ours that they pay their person like $105,000. And it was like, wow, that's, and the only reason I looked it up is because I was on a meeting with them for like the AIC or something, and I'm like, that person seemed pretty sharp, and that's pretty good. And so yeah, there's a big range of responsibilities and what that position
A
entails.
lot of research needs to go into that.
Like, I think we have missed opportunities with grants that we can
I
do
agree.
and just county operations. So.
Opened my eyes. I had a discussion with someone yesterday. It really opened my eyes to that, you know? Yeah. So the other thing that I want to discuss is the 4-H and the park. I want to separate the park from the 4-H. I want to move the superintendent to the park. How do you feel about it?
So that's not a lot of information, but that is, the way it works now is half of the salary comes from both. So that's gonna be the number one concern is the park doesn't have any money, how are they gonna pay for the full salary instead of half of the
I
salary?
reached out to them and I asked her, that was the first question.
Tax rate base.
She said she could sustain it, or they could sustain it, they
I'm
could.
just saying that as we've been doing these projects over the last couple of years, they have more expenses that they want to spend than they have money to overspend it.
That's in the non-reverting fund. Their operating fund is the tax base that moves money into non-reverting, but they have enough to fund their staffing. Now, if the 4-H isn't supplementing some of that back, yes, they may be short.
So, I mean, would they have an additional $25,000 or so in their budget to pay for that, for what we're getting from 4-H?
We have to do some analysis on that.
Right, right, and she had said that. She
And
had
then
said
what would
that.
4-H like to do? And have they taken any official action, or this is just kind of discussion?
This is discussion with me only at
Okay.
this point. Marky and I have talked about it. Sandy and I have talked about it briefly. The only issue with this would be, like I said, moving the superintendent to the park only, solely, is the house. He has a family, he's got a young one, that is a concern for me. I would like to do some kind of a contract or something to let him stay in that house for a period of time.
Or potentially indefinitely, if depending on if the 4-H doesn't have need.
I think recently they've hired an assistant superintendent for the 4-H, right? That's what I was told. So I didn't know if that person, of course, I don't know where they live or anything else, if they could commute and be moved up to the superintendent if they're interested. I mean, that I don't know.
So currently operating the park and the 4-H, we have a superintendent and an assistant superintendent and 2 part-times.
Yes,
That mainly do in the summer because there's
Yes.
a lot of acreage and a lot
Yes.
of mowing to be done. So if we separated the two, would we have a need for the part-times or the assistant? I mean, because you're kind of cutting your acreage down to half, less than half probably.
the only person I would be moving would be the superintendent, the current superintendent over to the park.
So the assistant superintendent would still do work for 4-H? Or the
Yes,
part-time people would still do that work for?
possibly.
The amount of work to be done, I'm assuming stays the same. That's just how it's organized.
Yeah, reorganization. Like I said, they've hired, from my understanding, an assistant No, that's, needs to be a discussion. If he wants to move up to superintendent, then keep the part-time.
So we would
That's
have a
currently
park
there.
superintendent and a 4-H superintendent.
Basically.
Well, if he worked for 4-H, he would no longer work for us.
With the information that we have now, my thoughts would be that we separate from 4-H, and 4-H can hire their own people to manage their own thing, and then they no longer pay us back with our own money. That's, we give them
Allotment.
we give them an allotment this year, they've asked for $145,000, so we give them $145,000, they give us back $30,000.
No, it's more than that.
I mean, for the part that is just for this superintendent.
Oh, it's usually about half the salary and benefits.
So let's say it's, I'm making the number of $35,000. Now they don't give us $35,000 back anymore, and they pay their own person. They come up with their own way to manage it.
But it'd be real difficult to hire, we just hired this person under our benefits, and then you're saying, nope, no, you're not our employee anymore.
Wait, you mean the part-time person?
The new assistant superintendent.
I don't think we can allow 4-H to dictate our employment status of our people. They're county employees.
I think not knowing the whole story, I don't really like it. Like, I feel like, I don't know what's going on there, but that's all one big property. And I know there's 2 separate organizations out there, but they need to learn how to work together and maintain this property. It's still just one big property. And again, I don't know all the details, but it doesn't make sense to me to have 2 superintendents that possibly then are gonna be butting heads on how things get done along their property line or whatnot, so. I think it might create more headaches than we already have.
I think it might be doable, but there would have to be a plan. There would have to be, I think it would be difficult, and I think there'd have to be a well laid out plan. The other problem is the equipment. 4-H doesn't know any equipment. Right? How are they gonna brush hog without? Because let's just say that we completely separated. We have to build a small building on our park property.
Park side.
We put the tractor in there, we put all the other equipment in there, and we take care of our property. What are they gonna do? Right? What does it mean what was 4-H? You're right, ideally, that we find a way to work together and we coexist. So what do you think what's the next step, the very next thing that's gonna happen? You're thinking that 4-H is going to want to separate from some of the current staff.
Yes.
Probably so.
I just think that if they do that, they have to be thoughtful about what they're doing because that will have repercussions. I mean, things will change.
I hope they thought of that, but I think their mind's pretty well set.
No, I mean, I'm okay with that, but if they don't have the superintendent, I don't know how they get to pick that they want the guy underneath the super. So you're saying they want the guy underneath the superintendent to continue to work with them?
I guess that he's been hired.
I have not met him, I don't know.
I don't either. I haven't
So-
either.
Is Downey not the assistant?
Well, he resigned and stayed on for the fair.
Yes.
And then we hired some
You're
third.
gonna lose the superintendent and assistant.
So who's this third guy? Who hired the third guy?
Third guy.
This new
But
person?
when Donnie resigned, they put out ads for a new person.
Yes.
And I thought that person was hired now.
From what I
They weren't
gathered,
there last week, but I have not met him.
Thursday or Friday. Yeah, I wasn't aware that person was hired until late last week. I wasn't aware of that.
And see, Marky's not, I have.
Marky's not here, so, so basically you're gonna lose a superintendent and an assistant. I mean, now they've got the assistant hired, apparently.
And when you're saying they, who hired? I mean, who made the decision to hire?
County.
thought Marquis and
Marky did.
Carson.
Markey and Carson, right, county employees, it wasn't like 4-H fair, 4-H, not fair, 4-H
Council,
staff or
no,
park
council
board.
wasn't even brought up at a meeting.
Yeah, they don't hire our people.
That wasn't brought up. I don't know who this person is. I don't know.
And you have two
Part-time.
two part-timers that work
Seasonal.
full year round, and then you have seasonal
Seasonal.
summer kids that are gonna be going
Yeah.
back to school soon.
I think that's just a couple too, my understanding.
3 maybe.
Maybe. Suggestions?
So let's just assume the park people are satisfied with the work being done by the staff. So they're gonna be satisfied, and they are 100% with us. Right, they have their own taxing,
Right, they're part of the
they're part
county.
of the county. 4-H is unhappy with those people, we'll just say. So if they say they wanna break apart, what that would mean is our people would no longer do work for them. That would be the repercussion, and what they would gain is they wouldn't have to pay for that person for whatever going forward. I think it's gonna open up a whole lot of different issues for them. I mean, really, part of me thinks that's a them problem. If they say they're not gonna work with this guy, well, then that's fine. The county can then choose to lower our subsidy. We could choose to move our equipment. There's just a lot of things they would have to consider.
Hire a different superintendent to take his place?
We wouldn't. We'd have nothing to do with it.
They'd have to do that.
Or
Now,
council,
we would have to move out of their house.
Right. That concerns me more than anything. You know, I'm trying to move this person over, so not only does he have a job, but hopefully stay in the house for a while.
Was there a lease or a legal agreement about the house when he was brought on?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there was, because of it being a unique situation. So I mean, he'll have rights as a renter or a person who lives there. He'll have a certain amount of rights that we will help him enforce, but yeah, if they would want him out, I guess there would be a way for that to happen. In several months or whatever that time
Right.
period is.
Right. We could come up with some kind of a contract where he could stay in that for a while. I mean, he has a family. You can't just,
I mean, if they lease
30
from us
days.
leasing it, he's just gonna have his rights as a renter, you know, whatever, but I don't think, you know, we have the right to lease him that house because that's part of the 4-H lease.
Right, we can.
So we can't. The 4-H could, but if they choose not to, then he's essentially just got whatever rights he's supported.
Okay.
And that's it.
Right, I'm sure if somebody gets evicted, they have to give them formal notice and they have to give them so
So
many
many
days.
days and.
What, do you know anything about that?
Typically, I'd say at least 30 days, but it depends upon the lease agreement, there is no one here. For the residents.
I mean, we're not taking any proactive moves on this. This is all coming from someone else. So I would say if whatever moves they need to make, we don't really have any say in it. In this case, the 4-H board, if they make a decision, I guess we will react. I don't know if there's anything more we can do. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if we have any control over that situation. I mean, it's been set up that way for how many years?
40?
Since 1967, when the park was put in.
oh wow.
And it seems like up until now, it works just fine. And now all of a sudden there's issues. Not 100% sure what all the issues are coming from, but it seems like if we could make it work since 1967, whatever the issues are, should be able to be ironed out somehow to where it continues to work the way it is.
And if 4-H wants to have a divorce, then we'll deal with whatever those consequences are.
Okay.
Well, I'm with you though. Ideally, you work it out.
Right.
Person's a reasonable person. The
Right.
people on the board are reasonable people. Seems like we could come together and that would be mutually beneficial.
All right.
would it help to bring all them together at a meeting? Or have
I think you've done that, right? I mean, you've had people around a table, have you?
But could we bring them in here?
Absolutely. Find out what their concerns are.
Just, I mean,
Marky and I have been very involved in trying to solve a couple issues, and I'd like to hear his.
So I said, it does that qualify for an executive session? I don't know.
I think it could because of the employment situation.
True.
As I mentioned, I'll support whatever you need to do. I think, I've always been a proponent of 4-H being separate from the county. And all these entanglements make it difficult. It's been okay for all these years, but there are difficulties.
Oh, yeah.
When the county has agreed to invest, let's just say over the last 10 years, over $1 million within, between the subsidies, parking lot stuff, work that we do for out there, that we aren't required to do.
Grandstand,
Grandstand is the biggest example.
roofing, painting. It's been a lot out there.
You're right, just another $115,000 above their subsidy last year for a building. So we've been friendlier than I might have been if I was the sole vote. So the county has been a good partner with them, I feel. But if they want to get away from that, then that'll be their decision.
Okay. Can we put it on the agenda for the next meeting? Or discussion or something?
do we want to try to make an executive session?
So you'd be eligible for an executive session. And again, there's a lot,
I'd like to get to the root of the issue, and it sounds like it's an employment issue. If that's the case, then we probably need to have an executive session.
have it by T's come.
My fear with separating that is, there's a lot of unknown, and I don't want that area out there to just
No, I
fall
agree.
apart.
I agree.
So if you do an executive, you have to get at least 48 hours notice.
Correct.
So you just have to kind of come up with a date and time, 48 hours notice.
So if
Business days.
you want to talk with them, see if that seems like a good way to go, then we can proceed that way. If it doesn't, they may say, we're not messing with that, we're not gonna do it, here's what we're doing. And they have that right to do that too. But if they want to keep talking and negotiating, then we can probably do it that way. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So they can act unilaterally if they like, or they can work with us and we can try to have a path forward.
Are we gonna go ahead and put it on the agenda?
How long do you think it'll be?
Commissioner, we can do a executive session within a meeting, right? I mean, we would have to,
Pause.
it's not ideal.
It's not ideal,
So my thought is if
Do it some days before.
they want to
The
get
reason it's not ideal is because again, you got a regular scheduled meeting, and that's what we're supposed to be doing at that time.
What's on the agenda for August the 4th so far?
Well, we're gonna do the Slogan property, got a public easement that we're vacating. Taylor O'Brien. And then health insurance.
Oh, health insurance is gonna take quite
That
a
should only take 2 hours.
few hours.
Did last time.
To be honest.
How about we pencil in a spot for whatever, for a half hour for this at the public meeting. And if you end up thinking that we need to have an executive session instead, then we can take that spot off. Does that work with you?
Okay,
So you want half hour slot?
Do you want to have that? Yeah. Might as well. Anything else?
No.
All right. Public comment, Mr. No? No.
Nothing.
Anything from the auditor?
I will be gone until Thursday. Do you pick me up there in a little bit? We're going to auditor's conference.
All right. Well, let's hope that we get some of these properties cleaned up so we can do other business with the county.
True.
All right, close it. Thank you.
Here.
Appreciate that.